Hey, here we go again. This is the 17th episode of Sunny Fireside Live Sportstake. I'm Baruti Carl Alexander, your host, and we talking sports, and we got some good guests, we got some good subjects, and every week or every other week, we coming to you and we gonna share what is going on in the world of sports. Tonight, NFL draft. The Texans got the 42nd pick. Now, last year, they hit a bonanza with C.J. Stroud, and Carolina is still upset about that. I just saw the report that the whole community is telling the owner, stay out of the draft because you made the mistake last year. And he's trying to defend himself. So, hey, it has big significance. Jeff, you have a report of what's happening?
Okay, right now, the pick just went in right before the Houston Texans. The guy that just went off the board is a guy that I know the Houston Texans wanted. They call him Kool-Aid McKinstry. That guy from Alabama, cornerback, first team, AP, All-American. That's who Houston wanted, and he went right in front of them at the 41st pick. So Houston's pick is up next. So I know they're crying over there. They crying. I wouldn't be surprised to see Houston move down maybe 3 or 4 or 5 spots and pick up an extra 3rd or 4th round pick, because that's the guy they really want. That guy would start opposite Derek Stingley, this guy who just went off the board at 41.
Hey, well, this is a good second, right quick, to give a review of what the Texans have done this summer. They've done a lot. I know didn't they get Joe Mixon, running back? Who else did they get? Brother Gill, Brother Allen, do y'all want to share in how the Texans have done this summer?
You know they got Brother Diggs from Buffalo. We know we got him. That was a great pickup, even though they say he's an issue in the locker room. But I believe he's going to be just what they need as a veteran.
He's going to be an issue on the field, too.
He's going to be a problem on the field. He's going to be a problem.
A problem. That C.J. Stroud got some weapons, and right now, if they wanted another wide receiver, which would help them, I think, again, from the University of Texas, that kid that's from Houston, he's still out on the board. I think he's still out. The Mitchell kid, the big 6'4" kid that ran the 4.4.
Okay.
Here it is, the pick in, Jeff, your call.
Yeah, he's still on the board. He's still on the board. I see a guy on the board I would love to see him take, but he's a running back, and I know they're not going to take a running back in the 2nd round. But, boy, that Benson, oh, man, I would love to see them get him. But I know they're not going to take a running back in the 2nd round. I know they're not. Okay, Houston pick. They make an announcement now, guys.
All right. I just want to say this while we're waiting. I think the key with the Texans is still DeMarco Ryan. DeMarco, because you got a player, a veteran like Diggs, but he can talk to him. He can talk to him in the way that I think he would respond. And I'm looking for the Texans to go further even this year. All right, Jeff, have they made it yet?
All right, Houston's pick is in. They took a cornerback. The guy they really wanted went 1 pick ahead of them. 1 pick ahead of them. It's just how it works. They just took Kamari Lassiter, cornerback from Georgia. So I knew they were going to go cornerback here because they want a 2nd cornerback to play opposite Derek Stingley. So, and 3 or 4 cornerbacks are going off the board here in this 2nd round. And the guy just went right in front of them that I know that they wanted. They call him Kool-Aid. So anyway, but they got Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. So he's played against the best competition in the country. So he should be able to come in and start opposite Derek Stingley.
Well, the Texans have done. Most people say A+ work this summer, and with all the pickups and all of the things that go with they already have, it's going to be an exciting season here in Houston Texans land. So I look forward to that. Anybody know when spring training is going to start?
I know they got to go to OTAs here in the next next week or week after next. They go to OTAs. That's what you call off-season training activities. So I know they go to that, but I don't think training camp is until like July.
Okay, well, I just want a last point. Caleb Williams, how do we think he's going to do, Brother Gill, Brother Allen?
He's going to be pretty good, man. I think he's going to be fine up in Chicago. They haven't had anybody really step up and be the franchise type quarterback they need, you can't tell me the last time they had one. Of course, McMahon quarterback, but his college career and pro career didn't coincide at all. But you know, they got a guy now. They got a receiver, a doozy to go with him, and they can build from there. Let's see what happens with Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago got a nice little pickup in both. They had 2 first-round draft picks, and to your point, they got the receiver and they got the QB. And I like the QB. He's intelligent. You know, if you start at USC, man, they run a pro set offense. He's gonna be tough, man. He's gonna be tough to deal with. And they got the other kid. Don't they have the Swift kid at running back now?
They got Swift
From
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift, he's good.
Wasn't he out of, he came out, he was with Detroit Lions, wasn't he?
Right. Then he went to
I'm
Philly.
sorry. Okay, my bad. Right.
But he went to Philly. And had a
He
great
went to
year.
Philly, yeah.
Yeah.
My take on Caleb is this right here. If he don't let the hype get him, he gonna be okay. Because Chicago has always been one to build their quarterbacks around hype, and all of them didn't live up to it. That young man, they're gonna have to really train him up good during this offseason and give him opportunity. He's gonna need some offensive line help.
True. But
That
none of
was
the
their
other
issue
quarterbacks
because
were
their
nearly as
quarterback
talented as
stayed
he
under
was.
pressure.
Everybody needs some offensive line help.
Right.
I mean,
but none of those quarterbacks
you gotta
they
start
had in the
right there.
past were as talented as he is. None of them.
No, none of them were. My thing is with him though, I don't want him to get out there and just show him that legs, because if he get to running, man, you know they be after him. My thing with this is I want that young man to learn how that pocket works. If he stay in the pocket and use his assets, his receivers, he's gonna be beautiful.
And he got a few weapons. He's not gonna be without anything. He'll have something.
Let me say something real quick. One of the things that upset a lot of people, especially Mel Kiper, and I'm not a Mel Kiper fan, so let me go ahead and say that right now. But the Penix pick for Atlanta, I personally like Penix, man. And I know they signed the man for $180 million in front of him, which was way too much money for me.
Right.
Way too much money. He ain't never been to the playoffs. I don't know what he's done, but he got paid.
But Kirk Cousins is smart. That's what he is. He knows how to play the system.
I want this. Yeah, I'm not gonna turn down $180 million. What I'm saying is, Penix is coming, man. Penix is no joke.
Right. That's why they took him. They know what they're doing. They don't need to listen to Mel Kiper.
Mel Kiper is overrated. Mel Kiper is overrated. I'll never forget some 30 years ago when the Buffalo Bills drafted a guy and Mel Kiper said he was a 4th round pick. He went late 1st round and he dogged out Buffalo. He dogged out their organization, their front office, and he just dogged him out. The guy went on to be an all-pro. Mel Kiper's not always right.
No, I know he's not.
I just want to say,
I mean, he does have information we don't have.
That's true. I agree.
He screwed up a lot of picks. I mean, he said the quarterback at Jackson wasn't gonna be nothing. Look at him now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just want to say the Chicago Bears got a history of recently in the last several years messing up. I mean, the last successful coach, if I'm not incorrect, was Lovie Smith. And he went 10-6, I think, and made the playoffs. And I don't think they've been to the playoffs since.
They fired him the next year.
What y'all might want to also consider, your boy from Houston came out of Washington University, and he went to Canadian League and won all them Grey Cups and stuff, right? Warren Moon. Warren Moon was 27, 28, might have been 29 years old when he finally reached the NFL.
Right.
But he was the hottest thing cooking. This young man's 24 years old. He's went through a couple of years of injuries. He's learned different systems. His arm, they said that he cuts through the wind with his passes.
Yeah.
I mean, precise.
Who are you talking about, Alan? You talking about Caleb Williams?
I'm talking about Penix. I'm talking about Penix.
Michael Penix.
He's the oldest one in there.
Who did he play for?
He was at University of Washington.
Oh, we went to
Atlanta took him
okay.
with the 8th pick. 8th or 9th pick, and they didn't like it.
But I'm saying Warren Moon didn't even get a consideration and came out to be Hall of Fame.
For sure.
You know, coming out of
Yeah.
University of Washington. I think
Yeah.
that pick is good because the man that he's behind that got all
Oh,
that
yeah.
180 million,
Oh, yeah.
he was a backup
To the
in Philly.
RG3.
Who did
He
this
was a
guy go
he was a
to?
backup in Washington, Philly, went to Minnesota, did good, but guess what? You know, Minnesota traded him for a reason.
They
That
didn't give him all
injury
that
meant
money. They gave
something.
him enough.
Huh?
All right,
Yeah, he
well,
didn't get all the money he wanted to either.
interesting. We're gonna see how NFL is gonna turn out. I just want to mention at this time, the UFFL is playing. The Roughnecks, as far as I know, have only won one game.
1 and
Has
3.
anybody seen a UFFL game?
I've seen a couple.
I've
Do
seen.
we see that,
I
that
have.
is quality football, or they still got a ways to go?
Depends on
What you think, Bill?
depends on how you like football and how you judge the character of what they're doing. I mean, it's gonna be some guys come out of there that get into the league. Not a lot of them, but they play good ball. They're structured well now with the Rock being in charge. So some good ball. I saw a couple games. Kid here from Houston kicked a 64-yard field goal on the buzzer on the clock ending to win a game early in the year. I mean, 64, 65 yards. If you can do that, that'll get you a job.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
true.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Key with them is for them to remain stable. If they can remain stable and then expand to some cities that need a sports franchise, I think, because spring football can make it. It's they have a TV contract, so it's just a matter of them remaining stable. We'll see. We're gonna touch back on that. We're gonna see how that's gonna turn out. But we know the history of alternative football leagues. We'll see how it's going to turn out, though. I want to go to what's hot right now. Brother Jeff had mentioned it earlier. The NBA playoffs. What's the score? Indiana, Milwaukee, Jeff?
Okay, let me turn back over. I was on the draft. Hold on. I was on the draft. Hold on.
Anybody got that?
I'm gonna have it now. Hold on.
I'm watching the draft. I'm not.
I was watching the draft too, Carl.
It's on
Okay, well, let
commercial
me
right
say
now.
this.
It's on commercial. It's on
While
commercial.
you're checking it out,
Yeah.
106 to 109, Indiana in the lead.
Wow.
Okay. How much time? How
Milwaukee
much time?
at 19 seconds, 19.8 seconds left.
hey,
Okay.
Indiana, I'd be scared of them. I think they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference against Boston. One, that boy Pascal Siakam changes the calculus for them.
I feel like that too, B. I
He
feel like he's
changes
one.
the calculus. They already got Halliburton. Now somebody mentioned that he's a little young in the mind, but he's going to adjust to the playoff format. And once he does, they got two potent weapons, and then they got a good solid guy in the middle with Miles Turner. So
Miles Turner, UT guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee the only way I think Milwaukee could beat Indiana is Giannis at full strength, and that's not happening. I feel bad for Doc Rivers. I feel bad for Giannis. I think things are going to change in Milwaukee after this series.
I'm looking at Doc Rivers, Carl. His heart is just beating as fast as he is nervous. That got nervous. He's gonna go down
1
2
point,
games.
fell away, 8 seconds left.
He's about to go
And
down
they
2
go
games.
solid.
Okay, 20 seconds left. Hold on, guys. 20 seconds left. Down 3. Milwaukee with the ball. Down 3.
Yeah,
13, 12, 11.
I believe that is a part of the end of an era. I think this is the end of Doc Rivers' era. Maybe the end of Giannis in Milwaukee. I don't know. What's his contract status, Jeff?
Oh my goodness. I don't know, Carl. You got me on that one.
Well, he might demand a trade because he's given his time to Milwaukee and they won one championship. It hasn't worked out though. But I don't know. But I believe the East, Indiana has a real impact. I want to talk about the end of 2 eras. Golden State
Yeah.
and the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Specifically LeBron. I mean,
LeBron's gonna play again next year. I
He
know he's
waiting on
not.
what to see where his
okay,
son
where is he
going.
gonna play at, Brother Gill?
That part I don't know. I don't know if he'll be with the Lakers anymore. If I think I know LeBron like I think I know him, if he gets traded, he's gonna want to go to somebody that's gonna win a championship or has the potential to win a championship because he wants another ring. So,
In my opinion, if he goes anywhere, he gonna go back to Cleveland. He gonna get part ownership. He gonna go back to Cleveland, or he's gonna start a new team in Vegas and have his son on the team with him. That's what I believe. But hey, the Lakers is all over. Denver is just toying with them, and it's so hard to see. You almost cry for LeBron, but the Joker ain't crying. The Joker playing. Michael Porter just putting daggers in their eyes, and it was sad to see that they were in LA and they were just dominating the Lakers. It was sad to see.
Well, Murray done got healthy. Murray done got healthy. Murray, he done got healthy, right? Murray ain't been healthy. Murray done got healthy, and Joker slows that game down to a different level. His skill set is different, man. You know how some people just walk you down to where they want you and do what they want to do with you. That's what the Joker does.
I have a question.
Him and Lucic play. Him and Luka, they play at a different speed, man.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, my question to you guys, to the panel: if you're the Lakers have been horrible against Denver. Denver has just annihilated them in the last 2 years. If you were the Lakers at the end of the season here, you had to play in, and you beat the Pelicans. It was a close game. If you would have lost that game, you would have ended up as the number 8 seed as opposed to the number 7 seed, and instead you would have been playing OKC in the first round. You fare better against OKC than you do against Denver, the defending champions. So if you were the Lakers, would you have kind of just said, you know what, we're going to kind of lay down so we can go ahead and get OKC in the first round as opposed to the defending world champions? What would you have done if you were the coach or the GM or the owner? What would you would have wanted to happen?
You can't get away from that tanking conversation in any kind of way.
I sure can, because if I was called, I'm waiting on an answer. Phil, what would you have done? Would you
play to win the game? Okay. I ain't tanking. If you on the court with me, I'm not giving you nothing. Won't want you to give me nothing. We play to win. Let the chips fall where they may.
Okay.
Bro,
that's happening all the time.
I'm like
you can't be scared to play. You put it on the schedule. Let's play. Okay. And we work it out. If I've got injured players, a coach that's not available, we play with what we got. We are. That's why I love team sports. It's a bonding. It's a sort of unique feeling you can't get doing nothing else. Because when I see that guy doing his job, I do my job, we gonna win.
I'm like you, bro. I'm going Lovie Smith on him, right? I'm trying to win the game. Okay. I don't care who fire me. I'm trying to win this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to win.
I'm trying to grab this.
What about you, Gil? Gil, would you have rather played OKC in the first round and said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and rest some of my starters, not play them as many minutes, so we can get the preferred matchup.
You know where I went. I went to Wheatley. It don't matter who we play. I don't care who it is. I'm playing. Period. We ain't taking no time off. I don't care if I'm hurt. I'm playing. I'm not giving up my uniform. Matter of fact, if they bigger, badder, dress better, that's who I want anyway. But that's my mentality is a little different because I grew up in a different era and played for a coach that don't care who it is. I don't care who we play.
Folks, this guy is Gil Rodriguez. He played for the Hall of Fame coach, Jackie Carr, at Wheatley High School. So they need to
say, Jeff,
don't know that.
When you do something like tanking, there's so many variables that you don't know. I mean, you can have one plan for one way, but you don't know. I mean, you never tell your guys or insinuate to lose because you don't want to give that mentality in any kind of way.
Because no way.
Tomorrow ain't promised to you.
Dwayne.
I
Okay, I'm gonna
mean,
be honest with
and you go in with a losing mentality, then you go play Oklahoma City, then they blow you out. I mean, because you done got okay with losing. I just don't see it.
not for one
But
game. Not for
I
one
want to
game.
go
I
and
need
talk
for one
about this.
game.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, but not for one game. But hey, I understand. Hey, there's no right or wrong answer on this. I was just trying to get you guys' perspective. But go ahead. All right, go ahead, Carl. But
The
okay,
legacy of the Warriors is sad also, but they
Okay,
got to
Carl.
come to grips with certain things.
Okay.
They got to come to grips with Klay Thompson. His days are over. They
In
got to
Golden
come to grips
State.
with
Over in Golden State.
In Golden
Draymond
State.
Green is more trouble than he's worth.
All right.
And then they got to come to grips with Andrew Wiggins is not playing at an all-star level and may never again. Got too many other things going on. I think they need to get rid of those three players to pair other people with Steph. What do y'all say about that? Well, certainly they got blown out in the play-in by Sacramento, so something's not working. Phil, what you think?
Well, Klay Thompson will play again, no matter where, there or somewhere else. He's still going to be an asset to somebody. Of course, Draymond just got big contract. They might move him, they might not. But you got to look at the coach too. I mean, he had to come up with some more creative ways to win. As Gil alluded to, playing for great coaches is good, but you got to be the player that knows I'm in this game to be the best I can be. I'm gonna play as hard as I can, and I'm gonna stay within my limits, even when I'm aging. Because when you're age, you start trying to change a little few things about your game. Because when you're young, you're ready to go. It don't even matter. But as you age, you have to form a mindset to go with the body works that you have left. And they got a lot of young talent coming. They're gonna have to start playing. They've been drafting pretty good.
They have. I agree.
Yeah.
I
And
think
that's
it's,
my
I agree.
point. They do got a lot of young players, and they got to kind of turn them loose and get rid of some of those old heads that's kind of clogging things up and not producing as much. I can see this trade.
They really hit.
Go ahead, brother. Gil, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say to your point, and to your guys' point, they do have a lot of young talent, but they, if they're not going to use them, they need to blow up that team. And I was a Warrior fan when they were at their peak, but yeah, to my man Phil's point, the kid can still shoot it, but he's gonna need a point guard. And they got a young kid that's 6'10" that can jump out the gym, but he don't even get to play that much. Your Kuminga, yeah, that kid's tough. But hell, if he's gonna be playing 8-9 minutes a game, 10 minutes a game, and the other kid, big tall kid that's slow, that's the center.
Looney.
He got to go. Yeah, Looney got to go.
Can I talk about the
They gotta
elephant in the room?
What's the
Can I
elephant in
talk
the room,
about the
brother
elephant in
Allen?
the room? The elephant in the room to me is the coach. Y'all know that's Mark Jackson's team. You know he stole that team. Come on, fellas. Y'all know the elephant in the room is the coach.
Mark Jackson left him in
I
good
agree.
hands.
That team was already set
Mark
up to win.
Jackson left them that dynasty. That was his team. He drafted all that. My thing is, I would couple Green with young boy came from Minnesota. Call his name, y'all. Okay,
Andrew
you know
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins.
I would couple Green with Wiggins and get me a 4 that can shoot threes. And
Well, they talking about the boy in Utah, Laurie Marcusson. They
Okay,
talking about
He bad.
He bad.
Yeah,
But
he can play.
the elephant in the room
He gets hurt a lot.
is the coach.
Kerr. Steve Kerr.
You might have a point. I mean,
Oh, he was
the
mad.
day of
Come
the
on,
old
we gave him that
coaches
team.
are kind of going by the wayside. Now Papa's holding on, but in football, Bill Belichick is gone. Doc Rivers may be going out the door. So
Lou Saban had to get out of there in college.
yeah, all of those old head coaches, because it's a whole new era. It takes a whole lot different kind of program to deal with the young athlete today. And these old coaches, maybe that ain't gonna work, or that old kind of routine that they had. So
Plus, it go like this, my brother.
Okay.
Why would I listen to you When you got people out there that can coach me that's done did this, and they done showed what they could do, they have the concept that Mark Jackson put that team together. Them
He sure
boys,
did.
the way that team is designed is pass the ball all the way around till you get your open shot. You got a point forward in Green, which he gone because he fight too much, and then you got Curry and your boy Thompson. Man, every time they touch the ball, it's a half a second and it's up 3 points. You know,
Something went wrong this year, though, and something been going wrong in the last little bit since they won that last championship. So we'll see what they're gonna do in Golden State. But right now, I want to go back to what our picks for the NBA draft, not the NBA draft, excuse me, NBA playoffs that's going on now. I just want to go in to my top two teams in the West, my top two teams in the East, which I've already mentioned is Boston and Indiana. Indiana's going to close out Milwaukee, I believe.
They in overtime right now, Carl. They tied in overtime with 2 minutes in overtime.
Even if they lose this game, I still think Indiana is going to win. However, if Milwaukee is fighting and they change around from the Giannis mentality, because they got some good players, Bobby Portis, Dame Leonard, they got some good players, so they could conceivably turn it around. But I think they still got the psychology that, hey, Giannis is going to take us. And Doc Rivers
is he going to be out the whole playoff series?
He can really turn them around.
I'm gonna say this, B. I beg to differ. If Giannis come back, they can make it through these next 2-3 games. Giannis come back, man. Come on, he's gonna take them on.
They need to win tonight.
Yeah, they need to win. He's gonna take them on.
They can hold on when Giannis come back. Anything is possible if Giannis is healthy. Anything is possible. Because that boy is at another level. Anything is possible. But I'm telling you, Indiana, by picking up Pascal Siakam, is nothing nice. They're nothing nice. So they got a real tough test. And I don't think they're going to get past Indiana. Especially if they lose that game today, Jeff, I think they're going to be down 2-1, and it's going to look bad.
I agree if they lose. I agree if they lose tonight, it's going to look bad for them. They need to win tonight. There's 1:35 left in overtime. The game is tied. Middleton's at the free throw line.
No, it ain't tied no more. It's up by 2.
Oh, it's up by 2 now?
I'm
going to be behind. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm behind. I'm going to stay.
Who you got up, Brother Booker?
Milwaukee.
Okay. All right. Well, Boston, I still think is going to come out from the 1 seed, and they're going to end up in the East Championship. My still pick is Indiana. It's going to be Indiana or Milwaukee. I just say that. Okay, in the West, Denver looks nothing nice again, and they're going to close out the Lakers. I don't see an issue with that. But Dallas and the Clippers, who going to win that, y'all think? I got Dallas.
I got the Mavericks because I would never pull and say Harden's going to win in the playoffs. So I'm going to always pick against Harden. So I'm going to go with the Mavericks. 4 games to 3. It's going to be a good series, but I think the Mavericks going to win 4 games to 3.
From what I saw, people are underestimating the number 1 seed.
Thunder.
The only thing I'll say is when it really gets real tight and real ugly and in the trenches, their lack of size is going to catch up with them. But until that, they devastating. They need to get more size besides just Chet Holmgren. And of course, he's a rookie and he weighs only about 215. If that. But
can I say something about OKC? Can I say something about OKC? OKC, I am really impressed with that team. That team lost James Harden, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Paul George. They lost all these stars, and they just went back. The GM, Paul Presti, I think his name Paul Presti, Sam Presti, went to work, and he made all these various trades. and that team has like 14 first-round picks in the next 4 seasons, and they're already the number 1 seed in the West. And they got a ton of first-round picks in the next 4 seasons. They set up for now and for the next 10, 15 years. That team, that organization is set up. They set up very nicely.
But that goes to how deep the West is. Look at Minnesota. Nobody said anything about them, but you don't
Hey,
want to play them. You don't
I'm
want to play
glad you said
Minnesota.
that. I'm glad you said that because I'm like, they're not mentioning Minnesota.
No, they're not mentioning Minnesota. They're not the old Minnesotas that used to have Stephon Marbury and Kevin Garnett only. They got a host of guys that's coming to play now.
Oh, I
I think
agree.
they're gonna beat Phoenix, no problem.
Oh,
But
Phoenix is done.
The next game would be against Denver.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Well, that's okay because
I think Ant-Man gonna be ready for Denver. That Ant-Man is a bad boy. That youngster hasn't ever bad boy.
that's the one
Yes,
team
sir.
that can get them problems in the West.
Ooh, that's a bad
This is how
boy.
I have it, Carl. Carl, this is how I have it. I have Denver sweeping the Lakers 4-0. Just LeBron just go get ready for the Olympic team. Go ahead and get ready for the Olympic team. Then I have Minnesota beating the Suns 4-2. I have OKC sweeping the Pelicans. Pelicans have no chance without Zion. I have the Mavericks beating Clippers 4-3. So that's the West. So then in the conference finals, I have Denver versus OKC, and I'm going to go with Denver over OKC 4-2. Now we go over to the East. I have the Celtics beating the Heat 4-2. It's tied at 1-1 right now. I have the Cavs beating the Magic 4-2. That series is 2-1 Cavs. And then in this series we have the Bucks versus the Pacers. I got the Pacers winning 4-3. And then I have the Knicks beating the 76ers 4-3. So then I got the Knicks and the Celtics in the conference finals, and I got the Celtics winning the East. And now you got the Celtics versus Denver. Huh? Then I have
Celtics.
so then I got the Celtics versus Denver in the finals, and I'm going to go with Denver.
All right, sounds good. Anybody else want to chime in?
Real quick, Eric Spoelstra should get a lot of credit for being the coach.
Come on, bro. Come on,
Eric Spoelstra keeps Miami in the hunt. When you look at the roster, you say, "Who is that? Where he come from? Hey, when he got that job, I was like, what Pat Riley doing?" But that goes to show you how much he knows basketball. That dude has stuck the course and created a culture that they gonna win. Don't rule them out. I mean, it's scary to watch them play, how hard they play, and how efficient they are with what they have. They get a few superstars. We'll see. But right now, I don't expect them to beat Boston. But just some teams just stay in your head. That's one.
I'm riding with you, bro. I think they're gonna take Boston to 7 games. Eric Spoelstra was the cameraman, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, videographer. He was.
He was the cameraman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but my thing is,
the videographer.
They do never give up until the last bell. That's the part I love about them, man. They got that concept, and then they stay on the string. They stay on the string, man. Them boys stay on the string. Next man up. Next man up. They kind of like
without Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they kind of like New England used to be, right? Next man up. The Patriots I'm talking about. They kind of like that, you know. So I'm not gonna just count them totally out until I see it.
Yeah.
Because they're surprised.
Hey guys, I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit. We got some boxing that just happened, and we got some boxing coming up. First, I wanna did anybody see the Ryan Garcia fight?
I saw the highlights. I didn't see the actual fight. I saw the highlights.
Okay, Ryan Garcia is a hype boxer, of course. He did a lot of hype and so forth. People were asking whether he was crazy, and he came out and he devastated the brother Haney. He devastated him.
But you know he was at a bigger weight.
Go ahead, Phil.
But you know he was at a bigger weight. He didn't make the actual weight cut.
He was only 3 pounds bigger.
But still, in boxing, I mean, Haney didn't lose his titles. He just lost the bout. He kept his title.
Okay.
But Ryan Garcia is a heavy hitter. But he don't like to be hit. And Haney ain't knocked nobody out. He went all his fights by decisions.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
He
Huge
don't
shot.
knock anybody out. So I can see Ryan Clark.
Go
Garcia.
ahead, Jeff.
Huge shot. Indiana just made a huge shot. It's 1.6 seconds left in overtime. He just made a huge running jumper. No, huge. What's the Hallenberg? He's at the line.
Allenberg.
Yeah, he's at the
Okay,
line.
who's winning, Jeff?
Indiana's up by 2. Halliburton's at the line with 1.6 seconds left. Oh, nice.
Okay,
shot.
sounds like
118.
Indiana's gonna take it. Sounds
Nice
like
shot.
they're gonna take it. The heavyweight fight. There's 2 heavyweight fights coming up. One of them is sanctioned. Of course, one of them is not. I first want to deal with Tyson Fury and Usyk. Anybody seen Usyk? Do you have a thought on who's gonna win that?
He's got
I've
a
seen you
chance.
sell it. Go ahead, Phil.
No, you go ahead.
I think Usyk is an unorthodox fighter, as he proved with Anthony Joshua, and he may give Tyson Fury trouble. The thing about Tyson Fury, if you let him lean on you, you let him hold you up, put his body up against you for the whole fight, you're gonna be worn down.
He gonna tell you out.
That's what he did with DeAndre.
Wilder. That's what Wilder had. That was his problem Wilder had. He said the guy just lean on you. He just tire you out. The guy 290 pounds when by the time the fight started, he done ballooned up to 290 and he lean on you and he just tires you out.
So I look forward to be a good fight. It's been a long time since it's been 2 white heavyweights fighting for the title, but that's what you got, even though they're from other countries. But we'll see. I guess Joshua is the next black heavyweight that is in that realm, in that circle. So we'll see. Now, Tyson against Jake Paul. What do y'all say about that?
Oh man. I'll
That's
let
a
y'all
money
know about that.
thing.
Phil, you go first.
That's
I
a
think
money
it's
thing.
just
Tyson
it's just
has
a money
been
fight.
following Jake Paul all along, and he's been talking very positively. He said that, hey, you know, people are jealous of him, that he got this fight, and they gonna make millions and millions of dollars, both of them. And Tyson said, you know, most of those other fighters wish they could do it. See, and Tyson is 56 years old. He's saying, hey, where else am I going to get an opportunity to make this kind of big payday? Now, he said all of this when he was thinking about the contract, but once the contract came, he's talking, hey, I'm going to knock this boy out. Who he think he is and all of that. Of course, both of them are hype masters. If you saw Jake Paul, that's how he became Jake Paul, as a super hype master. So, but I'm going to say this about Jake Paul. It's been plenty of people that went into the ring thinking he just talking stuff. The boy actually trains. The boy actually has really taken to boxing and has really tried to learn the craft in every way. And that's why everybody who went in there thinking they was just going to knock him out got knocked out. Now, Tommy Fury kind of took him seriously, and that's why he outpointed him. But for from the perspective of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, hey, they're gonna make a payday. I don't know who's gonna win at the end of the day if they serious.
Little bro.
200 pounds. Tyson's about probably 220, 230, but he's 56 years old. Now they've been showing him training.
Little bro, you ever seen an old man slap a young man?
Man, come off the breath, man.
You ever seen a old man with heavy hands that don't play with no youngsters? Let me tell you something. Tyson is still Tyson, and he can still hit hard. That young man better stay away from him. Do you remember what Foreman did to that boy? What was it?
Michael Moore.
Foreman did. He said, "You got to hit him with one tree trunk. Hit him with just one." That young man better watch that, because if Tyson hit it, he's gone.
Yeah,
I'm happy he trained.
When Foreman fought, what's the other white boy name?
Michael Moore. I'm
talking about the one he lost to.
He lost
the
to
white boy he
Morrison.
lost to.
Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison.
Tommy
And that
John.
boy was staying away from him and tagging him and moving around. So Jake Paul is actually in shape and can move away from Tyson. Say, if he get hit by Tyson good, it's over. We know that. But if he can move faster and stay away and tire Tyson out, the longer he goes, it might be a battle.
And my boy that live around the corner from me just
They
got
just showed your
drafted.
boy on there.
Just got drafted by
Norman
the
Mitchell.
coach, Donald Mitchell, wide receiver, Texas.
Oh,
Just went
from
off the
Texas.
board. Yeah, he just went off
They
the board.
just showed the whole family
He
there.
was the coach. That's a good pick. That's a good pick for the coach. Also, by the way, Indiana
They
did
talking.
Milwaukee in overtime. That game is over now.
Yeah, that
Okay,
game's
that was a
over.
good
I'm gonna
pick by
switch gears
Indianapolis
again.
Colts.
Jeff, you came up and said about the Stephen A. Smith controversy. I have watched Stephen A. Smith in different formats. I watched him on Hannity. I watched him on Bill Maher. He has a wide range of conversation. And it's not just limited to sports. And he was chiming in and giving a perspective on what was that about, Jeff?
He was talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, about a week or so ago, had made a comment that Black people are relatable to him. They can relate to him because of how he's been treated by the country, by the population.
He said that before too.
But let me say this true
about that before.
Donald Trump,
Stephen Smith,
a lot of Black people are saying they are going to vote for Donald Trump. That cannot be denied. He's increased his polling with Black people at least by 10%. Some say 20%. Why is that? There is something that is out there about Donald Trump that more Black people have said, hey, I can relate to him. So maybe Stephen A. Smith is not necessarily that far off, but what Stephen A. Smith is they did not take his whole perspective in what he was saying.
He was far off.
Yes, we can relate to certain aspects. Go ahead. Somebody said something?
He was far off. He misspoke. He didn't express himself properly. He made a mistake.
That's not what he said.
Because you cannot compare Donald Trump's struggles to the Black struggle. How are you going to compare the two? Come on now, man. You're way off. How are you going to make us an excuse for this guy? I can't.
What struggles?
I can't do that.
The grandfather was a millionaire. That's how he got his money. He's been stealing, robbing, cheating. Hell, he's selling Bibles. Man, stop talking to me. Please, man.
Bro, that man Bibles he got in there, man. He got Lee Greenwood song in there, proud to be an American. I ain't never seen a Bible with that. You know, them ain't Bible. He got the Constitution. Them is not Bible. You know what? I'm like this. I'm like you, big bro. He cannot even compare what he goes through. What he said before, I think Jeff was saying this. He said, come on, everything else y'all have done hasn't worked. See, for me, I'm just keeping it real. Donald Trump is just the puppet that they use to say what they want to say, fellas, and I'm going to just call it what it is. I'm sorry.
It was a convenient statement to make.
He wasn't bold enough
to get in trouble. If he's not in trouble, he has no relationship to say, but he's not the only person ever, he's the only president that ever been in trouble like this. So why are we even having this discussion?
That's what I'm saying.
Is one of those guys who is polarizing, just coming on TV. You know, he has something to say about everything. And he got a huge following, but he also realized he just can't say whatever he wants. Donald Trump can, but he can't.
And I'm going to say it just like this. You said it perfectly. If all 4 or 5 of us on this show had 1/10 each of what Donald Trump's going through, we'd have been in front of Fire Squad already. I'm going to keep real with this, man. This is something different.
We definitely know
that's something different, man.
The stuff that he did, Obama wouldn't have made it out of the first year. He would have made it out of the first year.
All it does is highlight just how well he handled being president compared to what we are seeing now. And let's be real, give Joe credit. Joe ain't bringing a whole lot of controversy to the White House, doing what most presidents do. He deals with the dog, the tail wagging the dog, and he deals with the administration of politics. That's what it is, you know.
You know, this is my thing. I got family members that love Trump.
Wow.
In a lot of instances, you know, if your money moves, I'm like this. At 63, finna be 64 years old, every year I've lived, I made more money. And so I don't think it's about a president. That can't be. But you know, when you sit there and talk about me in my face, and I'm supposed to kiss the ring, I can't do that. I can't do that. Then, you know, it go like this, man. This story has looked like straight mafia movie, man. The Godfathers wasn't this deep, you
Who's
know.
gonna play? Who's gonna play the movie, man? This dude paid off a prostitute. He molested. He's already been 83 million for molesting that lady. He tried to overthrow the government with domestic terrorism. He man, the list is unbelievably long.
Yeah.
What are we even discussing this guy? Let him prosecute that cat. Let him go to jail. Man, this dude is a joke.
And Brother Gill, you know if it been me or you, that would have already happened.
Come on, man.
It happened for a reason. They scared of him and his following. And they are concerned what could happen if they actually convict him. And they hoping that something will happen where he'll be taken out of the program. But they scared to act upon him because if they weren't, they would have already done it.
Call real quick. Isn't this the guy that incited the January 6th insurrection?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Again, please explain
and
that.
behind the scenes, the MAGA people say, so.
No,
but now, fellas, keep in mind, a lot of us were military. This is not the 60s.
Right.
You are not gonna come through here and run. You notice when them flags go through riding in the trucks, they don't be in the hood. I ain't seen none in South Florida. What about Fifth Ward? Come on, Fifth Ward. Talk to me, Wheatley. Third
Let me
Ward.
ask y'all
Come
one
on, y'all.
question.
Say something.
That's
Let me ask y'all
because
one
I
question.
don't see him.
they are much more concentrated in their own areas. You go to the woods of Idaho, you got paramilitary groups all around that's trying to concentrate, and they just waiting for the time. So, I mean, they not going through our hoods because they know we'll give them their hat. But that doesn't mean they have gone away. They haven't gone away.
And here's what's more disturbing than
They are
that,
just
Paul.
trying to think and say, okay, who's going to give us license to be able to do what we know we need to do?
Donald Trump will be let
What is
again
their
now.
motto?
Here's
Make America great again. What does that mean?
Here's what's more disturbing.
It ain't never been great. It ain't never been great. But let me say this, and this is just a question, and I already know the answer. I'm gonna ask you. Imagine if on January 6th, the people that were invaded the Capitol were brown people with turbans, or brown people or black people with invading that. What do you think would have happened? I already know the answer.
It would have been bloody.
Well, Brother Gill, like about 3 months before that, they had a Black Lives Matter movement demonstration, and the police were in heavy armor and arrested a whole lot of them. Couple of people. Check it out.
Of course.
Go back and look at that. Look at the Black Lives Matter movement in Washington, D.C. And it was a very serious situation. However, had nothing like what January 6th had.
If it had been us, it would have been the White House. It'd have been the Red House. It'd have been bloody. It'd have been bloody.
Would have.
Very bloody. Hey, gentlemen, I got to sign out. I'll talk to y'all next time. Okay, I got to run.
Okay.
All right. We thank you, brother.
Peace, bro.
But here's what's disturbing that I didn't get to tell you. The Supreme Court is still discussing topics about him getting immunity.
Yeah.
Total immunity. The Supreme Court. Now, granted, he put 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them on there. You know where that's going. It's just a good possibility they gonna give him what he wants. And it's not right. It should be discussed.
Well, they got to figure out a way to say it though, bro.
Yeah.
Before they can just do that, they have to figure out, because he was talking about presidential immunity based on presidential decisions.
Still wrong.
First, you ain't gonna get no immunity on your girls you paid for.
That's
That ain't nothing
personal.
got
There
to
you
do
go.
with it. You're not gonna get immunity
feel
on how you overpriced your property. That had nothing to do with presidential. So now what you're talking about is January 6th, but everything leading up to that, look what you said. Get them SOBs. Get them.
Fight.
Lock them up. If
What
you
the
hit them, if
Supreme
you go to
Court is
jail, I can't
debating-
be jail. You said all that.
What they
That's that
saying
mean they're
is,
telling you to knock that chip off his shoulder. One of them scared, the other glad. I bet you won't get him. That's all he did. He urged that on.
very true, very true.
We watched it, fellas. We watched it.
Yeah. It's so much happening in our country.
Not
What are we saying? And we moving away from our sports topic a little bit, but
Mhm.
it's very important. I just want to throw it out there. There are a whole lot of demonstrations, protests at colleges around the country. It may affect the sports world in the fact that if people are not comfortable to go to a campus game, it's going to affect everything. But
It is.
across the country, that is rising everywhere. In Denver, Colorado, they had a bad protest where people went to jail today. You may have heard in New York, Columbia, across the board, and today in London, in Paris, everywhere they're having demonstrations. What effect is that going to have on the world and the world of sports?
Probably the Olympics. Probably the Olympics may have more effect if it's still going on. Because, the war in Gaza and Israel is that's beyond the everyday person's control. All we can do is pray and hope the guys in decision making make the right decisions.
Right.
Yeah. And it's been that way for really a long time.
It's
And I think-
always been fights over there.
Time. And us on the outside, we can't really, even have any impact or any thought. It's at a critical point again. So we will just see. I want to ask a out of the way sports question. John McEnroe said some things about Serena Williams that, if I got it correct, he said, or somebody related to McEnroe, one of his staff said, hey, yes, she should win. She's big, strong, kind of gave a question of whether, there was a little steroids involved. And I go back to the thing of Billie Jean King and the guy that she battled back in the day. They should have a match, McEnroe against Serena Williams. Yes, McEnroe against Serena Williams. That would be high quality TV. And
I wouldn't watch it.
what y'all think would happen?
They wouldn't get through it because McEnroe always was arguing with the ref.
Yeah.
They wouldn't get through it. He stayed
Serena
arguing
argued with the ref too these days.
Making rackets and all that. Y'all remember McEnroe?
Yeah,
John McEnroe, come on.
yeah, I do. I do
He's just a
remember.
commentator now. He's doing his job. But
Yeah, but he would act a fool on that.
all
He would
day
act a
long.
fool.
But even if the comments was attributed to him, he wouldn't play her. I mean, she probably wouldn't want to play him because that's been done with Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs back in the day.
Bobby Riggs.
That was
Yeah.
That was the
crazy.
thing.
In the Astrodome too. Wasn't it in the Astrodome? Yeah.
Absolutely. But nowadays, you can just bark at each other through Twitter or X or Facebook and be done with it. They couldn't do that back then. Just
I want to go back to basketball, the WNBA a little bit. The contracts are starting to rise a little bit, but Caitlin Clark only got I think 300,000 something for 4 years, and people were arguing about that and upset about that. But then they showed that she was getting over 20 million for a night deal, so it kind of died down that. But The
But
salaries are
Nike
still
just
not
signed it to $1 billion.
commensurate, and I say that they shouldn't be until television and the different gate and tickets are commensurate with the NBA players. But you know, we'll see. And expansion is the time for the WNBA too. Hey guys, we at the end of our show. Any other sports related questions? Any other sports related comments?
Bring back Dusty. Bring back Dusty.
Please bring up justice. They
Bring
just
back Dusty.
assume that the black man did
now
such a
they-
good job that anybody can do a good job. And it
Bring
doesn't
back
work
Dusty,
that
y'all.
Now they see the importance of managing Major League Baseball teams. It's not throw the ball out, sign out the line-out card, and pull the pitcher when they need to be pulled. It's way more to it than that. Dusty has a wealth of experience, proven, tried, a winner. You know, I'm not saying the spotter not gonna get there, but you know, he's not Dusty, that's for sure, and he shouldn't have to be. But
He looks like a deer in the lights, fellas. Analytics ain't gonna get it. Dusty had a feel for this game.
So
He
right
had a feel
now,
for this game.
the reality is you don't have that strong mentality and backbone to lean on. And
That's right,
your
bro.
major players, Bregman, Pena, Tuve, Alvarez is not carrying them, and pitching sure ain't helping. That's really killing them.
Well, they all hurt.
Relief and starting.
Yeah, and that boy they got from San Diego, man, is supposed to be the best in there. I would
Yeah.
put him at 7/8 inning and let Preston go ahead and finish it for me, because what y'all
Yeah.
doing ain't working. I'd figure
Yeah.
this out. I'd flip it.
Both of them been pretty bad lately, though.
By the way, Patrick Paul, Houston wide receiver, the University of Houston wide receiver, just went off the board to the Miami Dolphins, 55th pick. Houston there's 3 more picks before Houston's next pick. So
So
Patrick Paul,
he going over there with the cheetah, huh?
for University of Houston, went to the Miami
With
Dolphins.
Miami, he going with the cheetah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, all right, guys, this is the NBA night. I think we got a couple of more games tonight. We can still check those out. Let's pay attention to what's happening in sports across the board. So, as I mentioned, there's some boxing matches coming up. And our next show will be May 3rd. Isn't it, Mr. President?
May 3rd, is that Friday?
Yeah.
Friday? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, May 3rd. Then after that, Brother Phil, May 17th.
Got it.
May 17th. Okay, so we will see you next week coming up and the coming weeks as we talk about sports on Sunny Far Side Sportstake. Check us out on Facebook and wherever sports is talked about, hear our voice. We'll see you. We'll talk to you. Keep it up with sports.